Y'all, I'm bad about finishing albums, and that's why I'm listening to one album every day to try to catch up. This wheel that I'm about to spin has over 500 albums on it, and that's not even all the ones I need to catch up on. So, without further ado, today's album is Against the Wind by Bob Seger. I first started listening to Bob Seger thanks to my dad. My dad has always been a pretty big fan of Bob Seger, but just like me, he doesn't, I think, really listen to albums a whole lot. Very much like me, he'll listen to singles here and there, popular songs that he enjoys. But I don't think I've ever heard him listen to a Bob Seger album from start to finish. I do recall him telling me a story of being a young man in the 80s and going to bars, playing pool, listening to some Bob Seger on the jukebox. Really conjures images of just that smoky pool hall, having a beer, playing some pool, listening to Bob Seger. Which honestly, I think his music is kind of perfect. It really gives off that vibe to me. It's being like that quintessential, again, like dive bar in a smoky back alley somewhere. It's Bob Seger playing on the jukebox when I picture that. So, and overall, I thought this was a pretty solid album. I haven't really listened to a whole lot of Bob Seger, again, outside of just some of his singles, Against the Wind, for example, Night Moves, Old Time Rock and Roll, songs like that, that I think he has become well known for. I thought this was a pretty good album overall. It was fun yet introspective, kind of silly yet thoughtful. So let's just run through a couple of the tracks that really stood out to me, starting with the first track on the album, The Horizontal Bop. Great name for a song, by the way. I love the instrumentation throughout this song. It was just a really fun and fast-paced way to start the album. The piano's great use of the saxophone as well. Just honestly a fantastic way to open the album. Really provides a nice energy kind of coming into this first-time listen for me, at least. Tell them we'll be dancing to the drop. It's time to get down and do the horizontal bop. You'll Accompany Me was one of those songs that I was familiar with coming in to listening to this album, but I gotta say, actually sitting down and listening to it, thinking about it, I really enjoyed the song. I thought it was kind of a nice sort of laid back compared to the Horizontal Bop song to kind of give you that 1-2 punch. And I think that's kind of a theme for this one. It starts off with typically a fast-paced kind of fun song, kind of pulls it back a little bit to be a little bit, again, more introspective, but then it hits you with another kind of fun, fast-paced song. So they do this sort of nice sort of roller coaster of energy and fast pace with kind of more introspective and muted songs throughout. Her Strut was another standout to me. Great guitar work throughout. I felt like it was kind of had this really fun and sleazy feel to it, which I really liked. Again, going back to conjuring images of like a smoky bar, playing pool, that kind of thing. A whole lot of fun. Kind of skipping ahead here to the title track, Against the Wind. I just have to say, like, I've loved that song probably from the moment I've heard it, and who even knows when that was, because again, my dad listens to Bob Seger all the time, so I probably was introduced to that song at a quite young age, but I gotta say, I've really enjoyed it. Probably since the first time I heard it. It's one of those songs that I feel like honestly is a damn near perfect song. I think the way the instrumentals are put together, Bob Seger's voice and the way he approaches the lyricism and the vocals on this one, I mean, truly it's a timeless song because, if I was listening to this at, let's say, age 10, I feel like there was something I got out of it, even as like a 10-year-old, right? At age 20, there's something I got out of it. And now in my 30s, I feel like I relate to these lyrics on a different level than I ever have before. Against the wind, we were running against the wind. We were young and strong, we were running against the wind. I can't even imagine when I'm in my 40s or 50s or 60s what those lyrics will mean to me at that point. And it's just, it truly speaks to, I think, the genius writing that went into that song. Just the way Bob Seger is able to deliver it as well. That I think it has something for everyone. Literally, I think you can look at that song at any point of your life and it might mean something different to you, but it's still going to kind of impact you. Like Against the Wind is, to me, a damn near perfect song, and it has been a mainstay on my on my playlist since the first time I've heard it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what else there is to say about that one. Absolutely timeless and fantastic song.
Against the wind, I'm still running against the wind. I'm older now, but still running against the wind.
Skipping ahead again to Betty Lou's Getting Out Tonight. I thought that was a really fun song too. Again, a faster pace, kind of this like old school vibe to me. And again, I'm a 90s kid, so it's like when I say old school, I am saying like maybe like a late 70s, kind of early 80s sort of vibe to it that really transports me back to a time that I wasn't even alive for, but you sort of through media, kind of get this idea of what it could or even would look like. And again, it's just one of those songs that kind of takes me back to a time I wasn't even alive for. So that's another good one there. And then I got to say, Fire Lake as well was another good song that I think the piano was great, vocals were great, but it's also really catchy. Like the chorus, like "Who wants to go to Fire Lake?" It gets stuck in my head all the time. I just think the way that Bob Seger approaches that vocally, I think, just really grabs me for some reason. I really enjoy that song. A few of the other songs I skipped over, not because I didn't, really enjoy them, but because I think after a while, I kind of could tell which songs I gravitated more towards and which, I still enjoyed, but really didn't gravitate towards as much. But I will say for a lot of those that I skipped, like No Man's Land, Good For Me, and then even Shining Brightly, I just think those songs were still very solid.
It's looking pretty good today. The dark clouds are rolling away, and it's shining bright, and I think it's gonna be okay.
A lot of great piano throughout this album, and again, you sort of get that up and down with high energy songs that are very rock and roll, very classic rock sounding, and then sort of more, I don't want to say laid back, but sort of more calm and subdued with more piano versus guitar and saxophone and fast paced piano. A lot of slower kind of piano tones there. So overall, I really enjoyed this album, and I think a few standouts for me were, one, Bob Seger's voice. I think he does such a great job of sort of infusing like the feeling of nostalgia, the feeling of even hope, I think, in a lot of his vocal performances, but he also has this other edge where he can sing in a way that makes you think again of that sleazy dive bar. So just really, really skilled from him vocally. On top of that, I think there's some excellent work in the piano throughout this album. Fantastic saxophone throughout. I'm a sucker for some good saxophone, so yeah, that one really, those performances really stuck out to me, and honestly, a lot of great guitar work as well. The lyricism, I think, is sometimes fun, again, sometimes introspective. I think there's a little bit of everything for everyone in this album. But I will say, although there were a good number of songs that stuck out to me as being just really, really great songs that are going to probably live on my playlist forever, there have been kind of a few songs that as I listen to the album a little bit more, I kind of tend to skip to get to those songs that I really, really enjoy. So I think overall I'm going to give it 3 saxophones out of 5. Again, it's still very solid, still I would say above average, and again, just a great listen and a great album. I'm a big fan of Bob Seger, and I hope we get some more of his albums on this series as well. Hey, as always, if you're a Bob Seger fan as well, go listen to the music, go support the artist, go find his music wherever you can. If you enjoyed what you saw here on the channel, I'm trying to do more album reviews, so let me know how you like it. I've seen a few of you saying that you kind of like this series so far in the comments. Thank you, I appreciate that. Definitely let me know what you think. You can also check the description if you'd like to follow me on Twitch, TikTok, or Instagram if you're looking for more content from me. Alright, y'all, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.